Today, how a behavioral finance bias called the Ikea effect causes our very flawed human brains to overvalue specific possessions in our lives. Hi, I'm Graeme Newell, and I use the latest brain science insights to show you how to make smarter money decisions. My speeches and webinars teach how to recognize the signs that an impulsive decision might be likely. Click on subscribe and the bell below to see more of my videos. It was 1965, and Fred DeLuca and Pete Buck opened Pete's Subway, a new breed of sandwich shop where customers could build their own custom sub. And the world's largest restaurant chain was born. Fred probably didn't realize it, but part of the reason for his success was a powerful behavioral finance bias called the Ikea effect. The Ikea effect is our brain's tendency to fall in love with things we build ourselves. Part of the reason we love Subway so much is that ordering isn't a passive experience. You gotta do some work to get your lunch. You better be at the top of your game in that line, picking your bread, choosing your toppings, and adding that perfect sauce. Brain science research reveals that when we put our sweat and toil into an object, we have a tendency to overvalue it. Why is the Ikea effect named after the big box retailer? Because they're the masters of making you work for your purchase. You gotta schlep that huge box to your car, drag it into your house, and then assemble a zillion tiny pieces into that amazing bookshelf. Every board we attach, every screw we turn makes us feel more and more capable. So that dresser isn't some inert piece of furniture. It's a living affirmation of just how awesomely handy we are. We don't work hard at things because we like them. It's the opposite. We like things because we work hard at them. Parents know that if they include their kids in food prep, they'll eat their dinner. That's the Ikea effect in action. Me, I've fallen hard for the Ikea effect. A few years back, I built my video streaming studio from scratch, and I pulled miles of wire, anguished over gear that never worked, but after more than a year of tinkering, I finally got it running. There's much better gear on the market now, but I would never consider changing. I've fallen crazy in love with the capable feeling I get every time I turn on my camera. Working hard and falling in love with the good things in our lives gives us a lot of pleasure. But the Ikea effect has its real downside when objectivity is important. Helicopter parents invest so much time and energy in their kids that they can't imagine everyone in the world isn't completely transfixed by their child's every move and utterance. Homeowners spend years fixing every blemish on their home. When it comes time to sell, the Ikea effect has them setting a sky-high price, then refusing to negotiate. But the Ikea effect does the most damage in the world of finance. Researchers asked a group of investors to work hard researching stock picks. Then they asked them to estimate the return their picks would generate. The numbers came back big. A typical investor expected to make an average of 11 to 12% every year. The average rate for the Dow is just 7.75%. Researchers found that the longer and harder a person researched, the more unrealistic the estimate of their return became. Those who did a more moderate level of research had more realistic goals, and they managed risk better as well. They made fewer high-risk moves and in the end generated higher returns. The big effort we put into the important things in our lives can generate amazing wins. The attachment we feel when we work hard makes us more caring mothers, more productive employees, and more compassionate friends. But we have direct control of these things in our lives. It's important to remember that the performance of financial markets is completely out of our control. The market's indifferent to how much time and energy you put into an investment. A moderate level of understanding is vital, but research clearly shows that if you spend an inordinate amount of time following the undulations of the market, you tend to lose your objectivity. The Ikea effect tempts us to overvalue things we spend more time on. And there's a similar cognitive bias called sunk cost bias that charms us into overvaluing our possessions. If you'd like to learn more, click the link right here to watch that video. So lay off checking your balances a zillion times a day. Brain research clearly shows that you're only tempting yourself to fall in love with your own picks. And it puts you at risk to lose the most valuable tool an investor has, objectivity. Right now, I'm working on another video on how cognitive bias tempts us to make bad financial choices. If you'd like to be alerted when that video is completed, just click on my face below to subscribe. And be sure to click that alert bell too. And I've created tons more videos on how brain science can help you make smarter money choices. Click on this box to see the full playlist. I'm Graeme Newell, and that's Better Decisions Through Brain Science.